Hi guys, how you doing? I'm coming to you with my 35-week pregnancy update.
Hey guys, I love you.
Update. It says,
Guys.
memo, you can learn a lot from a diaper. Wet and dirty diapers are the best sign that your baby is eating enough.
Daddy diaper's dirty.
Yeah. A newborn's urine should be colorless.
Daddy.
A newborn's stools are usually black in the first day or two, greenish for a day or two, then yellowish and seedy for around day 4. An occasional green stool after this period is also normal. For day 6, many breastfed babies were dirty almost every diaper. This is normal because breast milk is very gentle and easy and passes through your baby's system. Look at the chart for details. Fact, your baby now tips the scale at nearly 5.5 pounds. It's too snug inside for her to move much now, but she should still kick just as much. Well, y'all know from my last appointment that baby girl is really big. She's past 5.5 pounds. She really does not kick much. She moves, like stretches. Like she always got her foot in my ribs and stuff like that. But besides that, she really don't kick that much. I feel her at the the bottom of my belly. I feel her. She be doing this with her hands, and I see her hand messing with my belly button. Like I see her hand prints. But as far as kicking, she really doesn't kick. She just stretches and makes it hard for me to breathe when she just have her foot just sitting up in the ribs. But you guys, let me tell y'all what has happened to me. So you guys, I was having Braxton Hicks, what I thought was Braxton Hicks, the other day, and whenever I have Braxton Hicks, I lay down and they normally stop. So I lay down and they didn't stop, and they was like 15 minutes apart. So I was like, okay, well this must be contractions. It must be time. So we went to the hospital, and by the time we got to the hospital, they were, like 5 minutes apart, and they was hurting really bad, and it was causing baby girl. She moves a lot, but she wasn't moving. She was just being real still. She wasn't stretching. She wasn't doing anything. So they had me scared, because normally she moves a lot. So we got to the hospital, and all the lights was off because it was 12 o'clock at night. All the lights in the hospital was off. It was dark. So we walked down the hallway. Couldn't find nobody. There was nobody at the desk. Like all the lights off. Like the hospital had shut down. So my husband, he picks up the phone on they had sitting on the desk. He picks up the phone and asks them, where is labor and delivery? Because the signs, they said labor and delivery, but there was nobody in the hospital. So they told them that they had moved to the 3rd floor. So we went to the 3rd floor, and I told them that I was having contractions and everything. So they told me, the nurse that was at the front desk, she was like, follow me. She said only I could go with her. And we went to this office, And she asked me, what brought me in. And I told her that I was having contractions. I told her how I felt. And, she asked me my name and asked me about insurance and all that stuff. Y'all, I was in so much pain. But I was trying to be nice. So she was like, okay, follow me. And she told me that Chunky and my husband could not follow us because I think she called it triage. What was it called? Triage? Marcus, what's it called? Triage? Yeah, we were finna go to triage. And she was like, nobody's allowed there but me. So we walk into the triage, and when I walked through the doors, it was on my right side, it was a bunch of beds. They had the curtains to cover the beds. And on the left side, the same thing. It was nobody sitting on the right. On the left side, it was 3 beds taken. And the girls that was sitting on the bed, I guess they was in labor too. So we go to one, she pulled the curtain back, and she tell me, take off all my clothes. She said, take all your clothes off, and she gave me a gown to put on. Put this gown on. She said, we're finna monitor the baby. I was like, okay. So I take all my clothes off. She tell me to lay on the bed, and she take these 2 round things and place one at the top and one like on the lower part of my belly. She said, we're gonna monitor the baby's heartbeat and your contractions. Y'all know how baby girl does not like stuff touching my belly. Y'all know how she get at the doctor's office. So when the nurse put those things on me, she went crazy. She started moving, and she was going crazy, y'all. My stomach was like just going crazy, and the nurse was like, wow, she likes to move a lot. I was like, yes. So she was like, your contractions, they are 5 minutes apart. She was like, I need to give you, she checked my blood pressure, and she had to give me an IV. Y'all know how I feel about needles. Y'all know how I feel about IVs. I hate IVs because to me, they burn really bad. She's like, I have to give you an IV. I was like, you have to give me an IV? She's like, yes, to get some fluids in you. I was like, I've been drinking a lot of water. She's like, I still need to check your fluids. And she's like, I need to check to see if you're dilated. Y'all know how when they check me to see if I'm dilated, how bad that hurts me. So she gets the IV and she sticks it in his hand, and I still got my things on. She sticks it in his hand. Y'all, when I tell you it hurt so bad, I hollered, and the needle came out, and she was like, you have to be still while I do it so the needle stay in. I was like, it's hard for me to be still while somebody is stabbing me. So she was like, I have to do it again. So she did it again, y'all. I was trying my best to be still, and it hurt so bad because the IV needles are so big, they're so thick, and it felt like somebody was taking a knife and sticking me in my hand. So it hurt really, really bad. So it came out again. So she was like, well, I'm gonna have to do your other hand. She's like, cause your veins, I can't really get your veins. So she's sticking it in me, and she wasn't even getting my veins. Y'all, she was beating on my arm and stuff like that. So she came over here, started beating on this arm. So I'm just, looking at her, tears just coming to my eyes. I was crying, I was shaking, and she was like, I'm so sorry, I'm not trying to beat you. I was like, okay. Cause it wasn't like a regular tap, y'all. She was like tapping like really hard. She was like, I'm not trying to beat you. She was like, please don't hit me. I guess I gave her some look to make her think that I was finna hit her. I might have felt like that, like I was finna hit her, but I don't remember swinging at her. But she kept telling me, please don't hit me, please don't hit me. So finally, she was able to get the IV to stay in this arm. So these right here, they were on this arm, so she had to cut them off and put them on this arm. So then she was like, I'm finna check to see if you're dilated. Y'all, I started boo-hooing again because I already knew it was finna hurt. And plus, her hands, she had small hands, but she had fat fingers.
You.
Me. So,
Cause I gotta kill them.
you gonna kill them?
Yeah, cause I'm so brave.
Yeah, because you're brave.
Mhm.
So she stuck her 2 fingers in me, y'all. I screamed, I hollered because it hurt super bad.
Mama, a doctor getting a shot over here.
Yeah, they gave me a shot over here too. So she took her hands out. And she was like, you have to be real still and you have to relax. How can I relax when you're hurting me? You're causing me pain. How can I relax to that? And she's like, you have to breathe. You're not breathing. Because remember, I told y'all, whenever I'm in pain, my body just automatically stops breathing. So she did it again. It hurts so bad, y'all.
Mama, you got a baby.
Yeah. So,
Mama, it's so heavy for you?
yeah, she heavy.
Cause it's too big?
Yeah. So she was like, I'm finna go get another nurse to do it. So she did it twice, and then another nurse came. And this nurse, her hands were smaller. So that nurse, she checked, it still hurt. It didn't hurt as bad, but it hurt. Of course, I screamed, I hollered. Apparently, I was scaring the other girls because they was wanting to know what was going on. Because they thought I was getting murdered. Blood from her taking my IV, doing my IV, was all over the bed. So the second nurse, she was like, you're dilated to a 1. So she told me that the IV, she said once those fluids in the IV finish, they was gonna start another one. She's like, they want to make sure I had fluids, and they was like, we need to stop your contractions. So they told me they was trying to put some type of medicine in my IV that stops your contractions. I did not want them to stop my contractions. I wanted to have contractions because I was ready to push. I was ready to have baby girl. But they told me since I was only 35 weeks, I wasn't full term, so they had to stop my contractions. I've never heard of that. So she told me that she said this medicine is gonna make you really, really sleepy. It's gonna put you to sleep. I did not want to go to sleep. I wanted to be awake, and I wanted to push baby girl out. That's what I wanted to do. But she put the stuff in my IV, and then she was like, we have to have the doctor come to check you. I was like, for what? And she was like, to see how far you're dilated. I was like, both of y'all just checked. Why does the doctor have to come and check? She was like, because he needs to be ready just in case it's time for you to push the baby out. When she said he, y'all, I freaked out. Because y'all know how I feel about male doctors. So he comes. Y'all, I tell you, I was boo-hooing. I was like, I don't want him to check me. I was like, I don't want y'all to slow my contractions down. I was like, I'm ready to have the baby. So he come and he's like, we have to stop him because you're only 35 weeks. And he's like, I'm finna check you, see how dilated you are. I looked at his hands. Of course, he had big man hands. So he stuck his hand in me. And it hurt, you guys, really bad. And he took his hand out. He was like, you need to calm down. So the 2 nurses, one was on my left, one was on my right. They were holding me down to the bed. And the male doctor, he was holding my leg, like he was holding my leg open with his elbow like this. and he was taking his hand and he checked me again. Yo, to be held down and for somebody to force themselves in you, that hurts so bad. So he checked me and he was like, yeah, she's dilated to a 1. And he was like, he want to take some labs. And I was like, well, how do you take labs? And he was like, he gonna take some tubes, little Q-tip things, and stick them in me. And he was like, I was like, why do you have to do labs? And he was like, because you're only dilated to a 1, and he said you're in pain. And he said we gotta make sure you don't have infection. I was like, what kind of infection? Why would I have an infection? He was like, sometimes you can get a yeast infection, and it could cause you to be in pain. I was like, I don't have a yeast infection. And he was like, you might, because that could be why you're in pain. I said, I'm hurting because you're sticking your hands in me. Y'all keep coming here sticking your hands in me, and y'all keep poking me with these needles. That is why I am hurting. And he was like, do you have sex? I was like, no, I don't have sex. I'm just pregnant. Why did he ask me that, y'all? When I tell you he was irritating me. So he was like, well, we're going to have to do the... Yeah, chicken licking. We're going to have to do the labs. So they stick the Q-tip in me. They do the labs. He was like, we're going to have to call your doctor and have your doctor come do everything, since it hurt when we do it. It does not matter who you call to come do it. It's going to hurt, because you're sticking me. You're putting things inside of me. You're putting your hands in me. It's going to hurt. The IVs was hurting. Everything was hurting, y'all. So he stops and everything, and then they changed my IV, and they told me, your husband keeps coming to the desk and he wants to know what's going on. So they bring me my cell phone, and I let Marcus know what was going on, and I told him that he couldn't come in there or whatever. And so they slow the contractions down. And they told me that that I could leave or whatever. They told me that my fluids was real good. Like when they checked the fluids on the baby, they said they were real good. The things that they had on my belly, baby girl had kicked those off, and the nurse, she kept on putting them back on her. Cause when they put them on her, they kind of wrap them down, strap them down. So the nurse, one of the nurses, she had to keep holding them on her, and even with her holding them, baby girl was still trying to kick them off or whatever. And she was like, I'm gonna have to give you some more sleep medicine. Do not give me no sleep medicine. Do not. They've already gave me some in my IV. I do not want any more sleep medicine, because I do not want to go to sleep. I wanted to have contractions. I was ready for baby girl. And then the doctor, he comes and he's like, I'm finna check you again to see if you're dilated some more. I was like, no. I was like, don't check me anymore. And he told the nurse to give him three things of lube so it won't hurt. It don't matter how much lube or whatever you use on your hand. It is still gonna hurt when you do it. Y'all, I tell you, I was going crazy in there. Like, I was screaming, I was hollering, I was crying, all of the above. So, since the contractions had slowed up and everything, they told me you can go ahead and go home. So, that's what I did. Y'all know I ran up out of there. Yeah. I just don't. I don't know. So I'm back at home, and I got there at 12. I left at 3 something. I'm just ready to have baby girl. I'm ready for her to be here. I'm ready for my water to break. I'm just ready, because I'm tired of going to the doctors. I'm tired of them checking me. I'm tired. But yeah, you guys, that's my 35-week pregnancy update. Let me know how you're doing. I thank you guys for watching. I hope you have a blessed day. Bye-bye.